think I'm going to move on to the next presentation so long, and then we'll have the Q&A just now. Right, so I hope you are all aware of the AgriIntel database, and I'm just going to quickly touch on how it is being used as a resource for compliance in our industry. So hopefully you have been registered on the website, and basically it is a comprehensive database of the products registered in South Africa, registered under Act 36 of 1947, containing an L number registration. It also has MRL information, so maximum residue limits, and post-harvest information, as well as market and retailer information. So you can really plan your spray programs accordingly and responsibly, and you can also see where you would like to export your produce to. So you can really plan ahead, having everything in one toolbox in front of you on your PC. There are two main aspects of the website. The first I'm going to touch on is the label information database section. This essentially houses the agrochemical database, and it's just a platform where you can interrogate and find information as you require. So there are different tools and mechanisms to either quickly download a label or an SDS. You can search for a specific crop, pest, and target and registration holder or active ingredient combination and see what's registered from there. You can find more detailed information on dosage rates and application types, as well as resistant codes. And you can also just simply search for a weed species that you would like to control in your field using the weed species searches. So a typical report will look like this in the label database. And what we do here is we will only list products that are registered under Act 36 with an L number. So registration holders from now on need to supply us with 5 documents before we can upload any new information to the website. The first is being the current registration certificate, so that we can prove that that product is currently registered. The second document is the label that has been stamped and approved by Act 36 prior to the GHS registration, and then the stamped and approved label that has been GHS approved, and then the commercial label in GHS format, which is then uploaded to the website, as well as the SDS. So what we do is we cross-check both stamped labels to make sure that the information is correct, and then make sure that all the information is reflected on that GHS label before it is uploaded to the website. In the process, that GHS label will be uploaded, and we will also remove the color band because it is no longer applicable, and remove the old WHO format label from the website. The SDSs are uploaded as soon as they're received from the registration holder, so that will be continuously updated. But the GHS labeling obviously does take quite a long time because we've got to do all the cross-checking to make sure that that label is correct before it's uploaded to the website. On the end of all of these reports are 2 important columns which you can make note of during this time where we're busy updating all the information, is the label reference and the database reference columns. So hopefully most registration holders are making use of a reference number on their commercial labels. So the product that, the label that's being uploaded to the website makes reference to a label reference, so you know that that's that updated label, but the database information might be updated with the previous label's information, so we just make sure that both are used there. So where you see a difference in the two, just take note that the label is probably more updated at this stage as we're busy doing all these checks. And always just consult the label before application because that is still the legal document to use. The View Excel document has been created recently on the website. This just allows an on-viewing, real-time Excel version which you can play around with the data to make it a little bit more user-friendly for yourselves, because a lot of users have noted that the previous reports were quite big and clunky, so here is a little bit more of a streamlined approach where you can just search and filter and everything will be filtered from there. Looking at the residue management MRL section, which is the other predominant section on the website, Here we list all the active ingredients and the crops that are registered in South Africa and list their current MRL and PHI information for South Africa specifically. But the MRL information, we list all the countries that we predominantly export to with all the MRLs. There's also market information, so the different retailers that we export to, so you can really go ahead and plan your spray programs and see where you would like to export to. Even at the end of the season, if you're picking up a specific residue, you can then alter your course depending on the other maximum residue limits available. So this is what a typical report will look like, and you've got all your ARFD information, the status of it in the EU if it is applicable, and then your SAMRLs and applicable, but these reports can be custom made depending on your requirements. What's also important to note, at the bottom of all these reports is a date and time, well, a date stamp from when that data was last updated on the website. So the MRL section is kept relatively up to date, so as soon as a new regulation or gazette has been published in any of the relevant countries, that information is then updated as soon as possible, so the information is up to date. So just briefly on AgriIntel in general, it's obviously free for non-members, but affordable for non-members on an annual subscription. There are training videos available, but I'll show a slide or two just now. And if you need any support at any point, if you've got a product in your store that isn't listed on AgriIntel, please contact one of the team so that we can verify that registration for you or provide you with more information. And also, it's accessible on any device, as long as you've got internet connection, but you can draw a report before you go out into the field or when you come home later and make your recommendations accordingly from there. But wherever you need to access AgriIntel, as long as you've got internet, you'll be fine to do so. It is constantly evolving, so information is updated all the time, and more so now with all the GHS changes on board. There are new functionalities that we're looking into, and they are being implemented. We'll look at the restricted use chemicals one of these days as well, as soon as the guidelines have been formalized there. And we're going to be looking at adding our M registrations to the database too, so it won't only be L number registrations. As soon as products are cancelled, we're going to be removing them from the website, so this will be applicable with the CMRs going on in future, so we'll start removing as we get confirmation from the registration holders on that. Also know that the information is being verified, so your GHS labels will be cross-checked and verified, so you know you're working with the correct information and you're ensuring that you're using the products correctly according to how they have been registered. If you need some training, you just need to access the industry resources and training link on the website. Here there are a number of documents available to you, as well as some training videos where you can watch online and see how you can better use the website to your needs. There's a wealth of information available, and yes, it might be a little bit tricky for some, but there are some shortcuts indicated in these websites, in the videos. Please also note there are terms and conditions of using the website. These are made available to you on the login page. A lot of people still miss it somehow, but they are available to you. So please adhere to using the website responsibly. And those of you that have not yet registered, please feel free to register on the website. And contact any of us on the team if you've got any inquiries on any of the products or MRLs going ahead. Thank you.